This is Justin Beth's garage, and today we are going to take a 1973 to 1977 CK truck, Blazer, Suburban, bucket seat, and we're going to convert this to a 1969 through 1972 bucket seat. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it the correct way. It's super simple, but there's actually no real good information on how to do this, so I just want to make a quick video on how to do this. And I'm going to be using the brackets that Dwayne Tressler he makes. I'll put his name in the description, so you can find him on Facebook, I believe Instagram, but I know I'm friends with him on Facebook, and that's how I got these. He makes these, and he does a really nice job, and they're perfectly correct and exactly what they're supposed to look like for 69 to 72. And I'm just going to show you guys today on how to do this. You know, from a scale of 1 to 10 on difficulty, if number 1 you've never touched tools and number 10 you're professional fabricator, it's probably like a 3. It's really easy, so let's get right into it. Okay, so these are the original skirts, obviously. They're a little surface rusty. I already did the other seat just to do it for my first time, so that way I kind of know what I'm doing. The other seat, these were actually pretty rusty. This one's just surface rust, so these are, a little bit easier to do. The metal underneath hopefully isn't too bad for welding to, but the new skirts are actually a little bit taller, and I'll show you guys what they look like after. But this is what we're going to be removing. It wraps around the backside here, and there's a series of spot welds that go all the way around, and we're gonna go ahead and drill all those out. I'll show you guys what I like to do. So first thing I like to do is just take a little bit of sandpaper. This is just 150 grit. You can use wire wheels, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter, but I just do this to expose where the spot welds are. And just that way it makes it easier for me to drill out the old spot welds. So you can see these dots here, and these are the spot welds that we're gonna drill out. But now it's just a lot easier to see them, so I know how to, right where they need to be for drilling them out. They do make specific drill bits for punching out, spot welds and whatnot. I personally am just super simple and just like to use a regular drill bit. The drill bit I'm going to use today is a 3/8 drill bit. It's just an old rusty bit that's still sharp and still has some life. So pretty basic. Let's go ahead and start drilling them out. Okay, so I went through with my drill bit real carefully. If you go all the way through, it's a pain in the butt. You got to get like a copper spoon or something that's non-conductive for the welder or whatever, something that won't stick to it. Put it on the back side. You can weld it back up. It's not a big deal if you do, but I guess that's the benefit of using those specific punch drill bit for removing the spot welds. So for this next part, I'm going to show you guys how I do it. You can get professional tools, and you probably should have them, but I just have a very simple flathead screwdriver and this Harbor Freight putty knife that's kind of thicker steel, so it works fine, and a little hammer action if you need to. Basically you just kind of get in here with your flathead, and you kind of just start gently prying on it, and you don't want to go too crazy because then you could bend the metal that's behind it, but this should come off pretty easily. So just kind of get under here and work it nice and slow, and then use a series of different things if you want to use like chisels to get in there, or multiple screwdrivers. But as you can see there, we already just got one broken off there, so it's already getting started. And I just kind of keep working it, and I'm not worried about my screwdrivers. This is kind of one of my beaters, so there goes the other one. So as you see here, we just got the other one snapped off there, so just little by little, just keep kind of working it, and eventually it'll come off. Okay, so that was the last spot weld. Just went through, it's completely freed up now, so just kind of get in there and wiggle it off. And here's the old one. So you can see we kind of mangled it, which is totally fine. It's going in the garbage. So, but to compare, this one's kind of hard because it's pretty mangled, but to compare this to the one we're going to be using, just to show you, it's much different in height. So that's kind of the difference between 73 to 77 versus a 69 to 72. So this is just a, I don't know, 60 grit, 80 grit, just a flapper wheel. It's old and worn out, but this is what I'm gonna use to go ahead and clean it all up. So here we go. Everything's all cleaned up now. So you can see the metal's nice and shiny. Got rid of all the little surface rust in here, but this is super solid. This is thicker steel than the skirts. This is like the actual frame. The skirts are just thin sheet metal, so yeah, a little bit of foam left in there, but yeah, we're ready to go. These, again, are the brackets. This is exactly how I got them. He shipped them to me super quick. I believe they were only 150 bucks, but I bought these, you know, kind of earlier in 2023, so I'm not really sure if they've gone up or, you know, whatever, but expect to pay around 150 bucks, which is great considering how much these seats are worth. You know, the 69 to 72 seats are, I've seen them between $1,000 and up to $3,000 for just a pair of bucket seats. And you'll notice too, on the bottom side, this is opened up for a reason. So when you get these and you put them on, this section here is meant to meet this front skirt. And this is correct for these seats, it's the same. So, but it kind of wraps right around it, and once we got it all in place, we'll actually fold it in there with pliers and kind of either hammer and dolly it or just squeeze it with some pliers and get it in there nice and tight fitting. So. All right, so it's all welded up. I'm not a welder, so don't judge, but they're good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and use my flapper wheel and just smooth them out. There's a little bit of a raised section on each weld, so but they got nice and hot and fused them together really well. So there's one side. Okay, so just a quick tip before you guys weld this in place. As far as the alignment goes on this panel, there's not a whole lot to it. This bottom flange of this new skirt, we just had to fold it over and hammer and dolly it nice and tight to fit this front skirt. The back of it lays right in place. There's not a whole lot to it, but as for the height, the top edge of this skirt here just needs to match the top edge height of the frame of the seat, and then clamp it up, weld it in place, and that's it. All right, so that's a wrap. The seat is properly converted and it's all finished. So here's what it looks like after. And again, a huge shout out to Dwayne Tressler. Again, I'll put his name down in the description so that way you guys can research him and buy yourself a set of these skirts. They're great. There's nothing else out on the market to convert these, and I'm sure you guys that are watching this know how expensive these bucket seats are. I've seen them range from $1,000 to $3,000 for cores, ones that need to be reupholstered. Whether or not they're selling for that $3,000 price, I'm sure they're not, but they're really expensive. So doing this is a great way to save a little bit of money, and now they're actually correct 100% bucket seats. So super easy. I think you guys can do it. So make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll work on coming out with some new videos again in the near future, and keep on going, keep on trucking.